So, hi everyone. Hi, Shwetank and Casers. Topic they were already a realized introduction of both of you. So, as we all know, you both are budding entrepreneurs, and today's generation they already have a mindset created about entrepreneurship. That these are the specific things that happen in entrepreneurship. So, is there anything that you feel in today's generation is a misconception about entrepreneurship that the youth generation willing to unlearn?
So it is a very subjective question. So my answer to that, it really depends. But yeah, you have to realize and you have to understand at one point of the time while you're building whatever you're building, that you need not just learn new things. The more important part is to unlearn what is not required in the future stages of your life.
Yeah.
I think that's okay. Right?
Yeah.
What I understood out of your question is what are some misconceptions that the young people out there might have into their minds while thinking about entrepreneurship or while seeing entrepreneurship as a journey, right?
Yes.
According to me, there are a lot of misconceptions that people have. Number one, of course, is that it's a glorious journey. See, at the end, when we all sit onto this dais and when we are taking the mic in our hands and when we are speaking in front of thousands of the people as audiences, it might seem like a glorious journey, but to be very honest, every day it's a grind in itself that you go towards where you get your hands dirty in the dirt, in the mud, and do whatever that is necessary. A lot of people think, and that's number one, right? So it's not a glorious journey is the first misconception that is there. So I would like to tell everybody who is sitting in here that it's not a glorious journey. The outcome might be glorious depending on to the degree of success that you get out of it, but it's not a glorious journey. So if you're not willing to get your hands dirty, if you're not willing to get some bruises along the way on the journey towards it, don't get into it. Number two is it's a problem solving thing, right? A lot of people out there talk about entrepreneurship as thinking about an idea that solves a problem, right?
Yeah.
This thing that entrepreneurship is that I don't really relate with it. There are a lot of people who are very good in coding, who are very great at technical stuff and all of that, and all every day what they're thinking about roaming around in the campus like this is what can be the next idea that I can build a solution from, or what exactly is the problem that people out there in the world are facing that I can build a solution for. And that is exactly the same thing that they obsess on like regularly and continuously, and they just waste a lot of time thinking about it.
Yeah.
Whereas they can build businesses onto something that already exists, and they can improve the way it already gets delivered, right? Taxi services,
Yeah.
Uber, just improve the existing thing. They did not. It was not something unique, something different that they were trying to do. All what they were trying to solve was the problem of hiring a taxi and like getting it from place A to place B. So the second misconception is that it's not a problem solving machine, it's a value generation machine, and for that you'll have. And the third misconception is you'll only be doing what you're good at doing. You will be doing whatever that is necessary in order to scale the business that you've built, or to even survive the business that you've built. So these are the three misconceptions that I think that are very important to be busted into the minds of the people who are young and really want to pursue the journey of entrepreneurship.
Yes, I actually kind of relate a lot to the second misconception that you told. Like, principles we are trying to, where you already have a solution, you're trying to generate a problem so that you can build start about of it.
That's a wrong way to see the life also, right? I mean, all what you're trying to find out is problem.
Yes.
I mean, that's the kind of mind that you generate also.
Rather
So
it should be to find solution itself or this
not just a solution, but I mean, doing something which makes people's life easier, efficient, and more effective, and increasing the impact is all about. I mean, scaling it to increase the impact onto more people. That's all what it is about, right? So how you can generate value is how you do business, and that's all what entrepreneurship is about, I guess. But a lot of foreign or Western culture entrepreneurs or entrepreneurial books and sessions talk a lot about problem solving, and hence we think that it's all about problem solving. It is not.
So after learning about you, I got to know that you guys have a long-term thinking about the entrepreneurial system and about the startup. So what do you think that the youth today, those who are the budding entrepreneurs, what are the decisions that they took at the initial stages that they find it beneficial at the start, but they prove to be a liability at the end?
I mean, like there are, so you just want to know about the decisions that seem to be very great initially, but
Yes.
turned out not so great at the in the later years, right? That's all what you're asking. There are a lot of decisions like that. In fact, every decision that you take at the beginning, when you grow to a certain level, all of those decisions or all of those mindsets you need to grow out from. I'll give you an example. When you're starting out, you have to be the housekeeping person of the startup that you are working with. You have to be the electrician of the house of the startup that you're working with or that you're working on, right?
Yes.
You have to do literally everything. But when you reach to a particular skill, you need to have the understanding or the intelligence to know when it is the right time to leave all of these things and focus on to the high impact execution that is required in order to build, sustain, or grow this business. So I think anything and everything that you take as a decision is depends on the situation in which you are taking the decision, and depends on the stage of it that you are on, right? A lot of today it might seem to you that all of the decisions that you took in your took when you were a child were all childish decisions. That's what we call it, right? And all the decisions that you're taking right now might be the best ones, but 10 years down the line, you're again going to think similarly. So that's all what I'm saying, right?
Okay.
At each stage, you need to outgrow yourself. You need to improve yourself according to the growth that you're aspiring for yourself and for your business. So that's what it is. Yes, please.
Right.
Okay, so the next question is to me that
Before moving to the next question, I would first like to appreciate you for naming it CEOs of Bharat and not CEOs of India,
Yeah.
and framing your question as CEOs or founders of Bharat, because this has always been a land of great entrepreneurs. Of course, we do not want to label those things around. We do not want to patent things around much. That's the reason why the world doesn't think that this is not a land for entrepreneurs. But Bharat has always been a land of entrepreneurs, and I thank you so much. I mean,
So, while studying about your company, I got to know that your company, Cyntexa, they work closely with global tech companies. So, I wanted to know about how you collaborate with them. And similarly, when I got to know about startup company, they work with startups and MSMEs. So, I want to know the difference. What's the difference between working with global tech startups and or not startups actually global tech companies, and whereas you startups and MSMEs?
uh, so like you want to know the process? How do we get them, or do you want to know how it feels like while working with them, or you want to know like what exactly, or you want to know all of it?
Because if there's a difference, we both are not interacting with the same.
I think whatever you feel is relevant as the answer, but yeah.
So all what you're asking is we deal with a lot of enterprise clients, and we deal with a lot of enterprise software vendors like Salesforce. That is our primary partner. That's the primary partner. So like working with Salesforce is seems very glorifying. Seems again to be very seems to other people it seems like you can make a lot of money and all of that stuff, but it's a two-edged sword, right? If you do not know how to play into those dynamics really well, you can lose. But if you know how to play into that dynamic really, really well, you can make a lot of money, you can create a lot of impact, and there's a lot of credibility that you can get associated with of that brand with you, that is going to increase your credibility out there in the market also. And you happen to learn a lot from all of these enterprise clients, right? You get to know where the world is heading towards, because when you get into those consulting calls, when you get into all of these discussions where they want to know what exactly they're looking for as a technological solution for their business problem, we know where exactly the world seems to be headed towards, and that's exactly the kind of solution that we have to build for themselves, for those companies and for those clients, right? So you learn a lot from them, you go into deep discussions while working with the clients I'm talking about, right? And while working with the people at Salesforce, you get to know how how to be calm in any other, or any situation, or in whichever situation that you are into, and figure out a win-win opportunity for all the parties involved. So that's what it is.
Okay.
And anything specific if you want to ask, I can answer that.
No, I just wanted to know, like, from Shrey's side, working with global tech companies and from.
So my question is to Shrey sir. since you are the youngest Salesforce MVP, so what role do platforms like Salesforce play in enabling business agility and scalability in the market?
So your question is, what role does platforms like Salesforce play in enhancing the business agility and growth, right?
Yes.
See, the point is, be it businesses anywhere, right? Be it in US, be it in any other country or in India, businesses are more focused onto seizing the right opportunity at the right time, right? Earlier, 20 years back, 30 years back, 40 years back, because of the lack of resources and everything, companies or businesses that were executing, they wanted to build the right, even if it costs them time. But now I think time is the most critical thing that businesses are more focused about because of the abundance of the resources, be it money, capital, or anything else, right? And when time is the most critical thing, they do not want to build things from scratch. And when they do not want to build things from scratch, they would want to use something that ensures that whatever they're building is at least being built onto the right platform that enables or empowers them for the stability as well as for the growth. And that is exactly what platforms like Salesforce allow them to have for whatever application, whatever solution, whatever business process they want to build on top of platforms like Salesforce. And I think that's exactly the reason why a lot of software vendors are making a lot of money, because businesses are focusing more onto seizing the opportunity or losing the opportunity, right? If you do not get it done in 4 months, you're going to either lose the opportunity, and if you'll get it done in 4 months, you're going to seize the opportunity. So while having time as a critical constraint, you would want to use a platform that allows you the speed of execution without actually taking care of the hard work that is required to set up the infrastructure, to set up the platform, to set up the existing process and everything, right? So that is exactly what Salesforce as a platform or any other technology as a platform provides as an empowerment to all of the businesses who are seeking business solutions or business process on top of it, or applications on top of it.
So since you mentioned that time is the major part in it, so can you share a real example regarding it?
Like, you want to know the real-time example?
Yes.
So one time we were building a solution for an insurance provider, and there was a compliance change that was supposed to come in the coming months. I should not say it on the mic, but I think I'm going to be safe in here because no US people are sitting there. So there was a compliance change that used to come, and somehow, some way, that client of ours got to know that this is something that is going to happen. And once it is going to happen, it is going to impact a lot of businesses. And that's exactly the moment when I want to close down my competitors' clients, because they'll not be ready and I'll be ready. So in 3 months, get this thing ready. And we were like, okay, but this is going to be the problem. This is going to be the problem. He said it very clearly. See, I don't want to listen about the problem. Can you do it or you cannot? And we're like, it's going to cost whatever you say. We're going to get it done. And in 3 months, we got it done, and we got a lot of money made out of it. So that's one instance about it. And then that was built on top of Salesforce already. So,
got it, sir.
Isn't it about making money at the end of the day, right? Is it entrepreneurship? No, it is not. But yeah, it's a major part of it. So that's why they're clapping.
I guess. So this has been a recent news that the government has changed the plans of startup recognition from 100 crores to 200 crores. So what do you guys think that the intent of government behind doing this?
I think there are primarily 2 reasons why they've done it. Number one, the last 5 years, money has lost its value. Anything that you see 5 years back, gold, land, anything, or your fees 5 years back and today, right? It must have been doubled or somewhere around that. So that's primarily the reason. That's what I can see, right? Number 2 is they want to allow businesses, they want to provide benefits to the businesses who even cross the scale of 100 crore revenue. That's all.
Okay.
So so they have there are different schemes like for the startups, which are labeled as startups, of course. So, but those businesses might or might not need the funding, but there are businesses who have built to a certain level but are struggling with growth now. They want to label them also as startups and provide them the benefits of using whatever programs and I mean things that benefits or schemes that they're bringing in to enable the startup ecosystem, because it's much easier and much better to get the 100 crore or 150 crore revenue company to the 1,000 crore rather than giving 10 rather than asking a 10 crore rupee revenue company to reach to the 1,000 crores. So they want more and more startups to become big companies, and hence they've like changed the 100 crore mark to 200. So these are the primary two reasons because of which I think they've done this. Make sense?
Yeah.
So what are the some of the bare minimum technical skills जो आज की youth को आनी ही चाहिए, चाहे वो किसी भी मतलब background से हो?
I mean,
that
as
bare
per me,
minimum
you're saying bare minimum technical skills, or you're saying
skills, like-
bare minimum skills?
Technical or maybe in general skills.
See, in general, I can talk like for 40 minutes about it, but I would not take that much time. So you want to be, let's be specific. You want general or you want technical?
It's called.
Technical.
Technical. I think in technical, you all know it way better than me. Data structures and problem solving, competitive programming are the two, has been the two pillars of the roof that an IT career or technology career stands on. And I think that's how it was, and that's how it is. And that is 20 years senior of yours learned the same thing. Today also you're learning the same thing. 5 years, 10 years down the line also you'll be learning the same thing. I know that there is AI who's going to write the code, but there needs to be some operator who's going to operate the AI to write the code.
Yeah.
That operator needs to be smarter than that AI in order to operate it right. So hence you'll again have to learn these 2 to 3 things that I've just mentioned, and that's what I think. Right? You agree?
No,
You don't agree?
No, I agree about the data structures and competitive programming. But are they really helpful if someone is not into any technical sector?
Yeah. See, you asked me about technical skills, that's why I said this to you.
Yeah.
If someone is into the technical segment or technical sector, mostly or usually they are the ones who are writing the code or who are building the application or building the code, right? That's what I thought you were asking. But you want to know like what are the other roles that somebody can get into a technology company.
Yeah.
They can become a product manager, they can become a UX designer, they can become a UI developer, whatever, right? So depending on to that job role, you can focus on to the skills that you want to attain. But even if you want to become a good product manager, and if you have some idea or some understanding of the competitive programming and how data structures work, you'll be able to lead the team who is developing that product or that app well, compared to the other product managers who really do not have any idea about how code works, and all what their developers do all day and all night is just bluff them around.
Yeah, true.
So that's why I would still stick to these 2 skills. Make sense?
Yeah, definitely. I have a question from the audience. How many of you think planning is more important than execution? Please raise your hands. I mean, how many of you think the opposite, that execution is more important than planning? So I wanted to know from both of you, are they right about it, or we both have different perspectives? What is more important, planning or execution?
Yeah, I think they both are right. It depends at this stage where you are.
Okay.
If you're very early on the serious, execution is far more important than planning. But planning will always take the first step than execution. आप दौड़ ही रहे हो, आगे जा रहे हो, डायरेक्शन तो रहने का आता है, जाना ईस्ट था, पहुंचना up पे, doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
So our first planning is important, but clinging on to that planning and not executing is worse.
Yeah.
So like, if we divide the timeline, let's say, into something, almost like out of 10, how much time should be given to planning and how much to execution?
So if I've had 24 hours in a day and I sleep for 8 and waste another 4, so I'm left with somewhere around 12 hours. And for the 12 hours, I have to choose my time between planning and execution. If I'm a average smart guy, not IITians, like someone from a private college doing a course. I choose 3 to 4 hours for planning, but deep thinking into that. And then figuring out the execution in the next week to 9 hours. Yeah, because the execution is gonna definitely show you what you didn't plan for.
Yeah.
See, for me, one doesn't exist without the other, right? Planning cannot exist if you are not executing. That's just a bubble that you're creating into your head that's going to burst very soon, or that's an illusion that you're living into. And if you really want to execute well, you can't execute well until you've planned well. Right? That's exactly what you guys did with your IIT or preparations, everything, right?
Yes.
That's the same answer that your teachers told you while you were preparing for this entrance exam. Planning as well as execution, both are important, and one and the other are not different. So if you see, if you can't plan well, can you execute well? If you want to execute well, do you think you can do that without planning? So they both go hand in hand. These are not two separate. There are two people who raise their hands, but I think the best answer is exactly what he said. They both go hand in hand and they both are equally important. Now the other question that you asked was about timing. How much time should be invested into planning and how much time should be invested into executing? See, there is no clear answer for it, right? I mean, it depends. If you want how much time did you prepare? Did you put into creating the timetable for your studies, and how much time did you study? There's no clear answer. If the stage requires you to plan, and I think planning is also a very cliche word, right? Or cliche word. I think the right word should be strategizing. Strategizing how you should be executing is a better thing. So strategizing is for the execution, and execution well and reflecting it back is again strategizing. So they both go hand in hand, and you have to juggle between the two. And depending on whatever time is required, you give it to that and then move ahead. There's no clear answer about it. Make sense?
Question.
Yeah, done.
So now, like it will be a fast question. Then I can open up to the audience if you have any questions. I wanted to know, by reading your careers into companies like Cyntexa and Sharma-founder, how did your leadership skills develop, and what are the things you learned about leadership and managing a whole team?
All right. My leadership style evolving throughout my journey, right? That's what you're asking?
Yeah.
It went from more aggressive to being gentle. So like initially when you start off, you are very aggressive onto everything that you want to do, right? You're putting your all what you have into that one particular thing, whether it's about doing the like slightest of the things, or with people also. I was very aggressive with people also. Aggressive is in not in terms of the way I was conducting the relationship with them, but aggressive in terms of the expectations that I had from them. So now, later I understood, as the hairs turned a little gray, that you have to be a little gentle with the people, because not everyone has the same capacity. I used to think initially, like when I was 19 and 20, if I can do it, you can do it too, right? But that's not how the world is wired, right? Everybody is different. So my leadership style evolved from being aggressive to gentle on that scale, right?
They affect a lot, like how you will behave.
The people?
Like the people you are surrounded with, the people whom you are working with. So what are your views whether like people with different mindsets, should they work together, or it will lead to clashes, so it's better that people with a similar mindset, they work together?
See, the question that you asked started with the people that you have working with you is how you have your mindset. Is that what you said? Or, like, can you repeat that?
Yeah, I wanted to know whether people with different mindsets should work together. Like they have.
That's the question. But once you started, like the people around you, you're surrounded with what? So what impact do you have of them on you?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
See, if you allow them to impact you, they'll impact you. If you'll not allow them to impact you, they'll not impact you. It's on to you how you conduct yourself, depending on which it's on you how you conduct yourself, and accordingly the impact is going to be there or not going to be there. So that is completely dependent on to you. If you allow other people to really impact you or to define your reactions onto things, you do not have enough control onto yourself. That's the problem. It's not the people around you which is the problem. It's you losing your control. That is the problem. So that's the first thing. Now let's talk about, is it good for people with similar mindset to work together? No. Is it good for people with different mindsets to work together? No. There is no right and wrong in here. The point is, mindset really doesn't matter, right? I mean, you might think that it does matter. No, it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, the common goal should be there, or a common vision should be there, and people should be going towards it. A lot of people, a mistake that they do when they start a company is they want to have a co-founder who is exactly like them, who likes the same kind of food, who wears the same kind of stuff, who likes to hang around or basically go for tourism onto the similar kind of places. That's the worst thing to do. And that's a big pitfall where people fall into their entrepreneurship journey or into their marriage journey also. They want to have similar kind of people with similar mindset. That's the worst thing. I'll tell you what is a better thing. I don't know what is best. I can only tell according to my perspective, right? What is a better thing? People with whatever mindset aligned towards a common goal is the best thing, right? And having people with complementing skills is always an advantage. There is someone who's a better salesperson, but there is someone who's a better coder. Now the better coder wants to work with better coder only. Chances of them surviving out there in the world, less, reduced. Why did that got reduced? Because the probabilities of them dealing with different situations has got reduced. They can deal with amazing technical problems, but will they be able to deal with people problems? No. So having a companionship of people of different skill sets or complementing skill sets is always an advantage to deal with whatever comes into your lap or whatever comes as a situation in your journey. So that's what it is about. So it's not about more mindset, it's about more alignment.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yes. Due to total time, not very appropriate to be honest, but thank you so much for these suggestions. We really got to learn a lot about how things actually work in life and entrepreneurship journey and how to manage it people. Thank you so much for the session, and then we have lots of work here next.